In 2009, when Kelva Daru, a native of St. Joseph, decided he would be actively involved in Dominica's political arena, he set out with a goal to make a difference for the people of his community. Following his stint as president of the National Youth Council and deputy chairman of the St. Joseph Village Council, this young leader was elected as MP for the St. Joseph constituency, representing the people of St. Joseph, Layu, Mero and Bells. In January 2012, the GIS News team spent a day with Honorable Kelva Daru, who currently serves as Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, to follow some of the recent developments that have taken place in his constituency. Our first stop was in St. Joseph, where we received a warm welcome from hundreds of school children who were part of an anti-drug rally commemorating Drug Awareness Month. Drug Awareness Month, an initiative of the Ministry of Health and the National Drug Abuse Prevention Unit, is observed every year during the month of January. The rally was supported by teachers and students of the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, the St. Joseph Primary School, the St. Joseph Seventh-day Adventist School, and the St. Joseph Early Childhood Learning Center. Honorable Kelva Daru was the featured speaker for the youth rally.
Let me say to you, boys and girls, that your future is bright if you stay off drugs. Your future is bright. And I have before me this morning the future teachers, the future doctors, the future engineers, the nurses, the police officers, the fire officers, the farmers. I have you all before me this morning. And you have to continue to keep yourselves safe. Not only is it your parents' responsibility, because your parents can talk to you, but at the end of the day you have to make a choice for yourself. And that is why when you go to school, you have to ensure that you listen to your teachers, and when you get home, you listen to your parents. Being on the streets is not for you.
Honorable Daru, a strong advocate for positivity among young people, welcomed the opportunity to encourage students to be wary of those who may lead them astray.
And boys and girls, let me tell you something. If you begin to make the right choices from now at this very young age, then as you begin to grow up, you will see that the choices that you've made at this very young age, they will impact your lives positively. And that is what you have to do as young people. You have to continue to look at the positive. Listen to the friends who will influence you in a positive way. Listen to the persons who will influence you in a positive way. Because there are many persons out there who are trying to snitch you, to allow you to do the wrong things. But you have to continue, boys and girls, to listen to your teachers, your parents, those who will influence you in a positive way.
He says substance abuse has had detrimental effects on the St. Joseph community and that the students have made the right choice by participating in the drug awareness campaign.
This morning is a step in the right direction. This morning is a step for a positive thing. This morning, my friends, you have made the right choice by participating in this match. And I hope that as we pass through this community of St. Joseph, the message that you sent out there did not fall on deaf ears. Because here in this community of St. Joseph, we have persons whose lives have been impacted negatively by drugs. And we have seen it. And you should not want that for yourself. I do not want that for yourself. And I always say that the choices that we make today will affect you tomorrow. So continue spreading your message. Continue telling your friends, and let them tell their friends that they need to stay on drugs. They need not to associate themselves with drugs. Because if you do, my dear friends, you will not get anywhere. It will only bring you down.
Since taking up office just 2 years ago, Honorable Kelva Daru has been devoted to his constituents. Apart from being a role model to the youth, he continues to play an active part in helping community members recover from the effects of several consecutive natural disasters. The breach of the Matthew Dam in July 2011, which caused severe flash flooding in Layu, and property damage caused by Tropical Storm Ophelia during that same year, has had a dreadful impact on both the tourism and agricultural sectors in the St. Joseph constituency. Much of the infrastructure in St. Joseph and Layu was extensively damaged during the 2011 hurricane season, and government has since directed its efforts towards the reconstruction of the roads and bridges in these communities. The St. Joseph MP says the Cemetery Road, a main access route in the village, is currently in a bad state. However, it is on government's priority list for rehabilitation.
This is the Cemetery Road, as we know it in St. Joseph. This is one of the major secondary roads that have access in and out of the village. And this area, as you can see at the back of me, was affected to heavy rains of Tropical Storm Ophelia, which occurred sometime last year. The Ministry of Public Works has conducted its assessment of the entire area, and we are now in the process of finalizing the funds to facilitate the reconstruction works on the road, as well as the certain segments of the river wall in St. Joseph. I want to thank the residents of St. Joseph for their patience, because persons have been asking questions, what is happening. And I believe the persons have a right to know exactly what is happening in this community. And that is why, as a member of parliament and making representation on behalf of the people, I have been in contact with the Minister of Public Works on that. And we have the assurance that we will see work commence on this portion of the St. Joseph Road, as well as on the areas of the river wall which have been affected in the first quarter of this year.
Honorable Daru says, despite the global financial crisis which has affected many Caribbean islands, including Dominica, this government continues to secure funding to assist in disaster recovery efforts.
We also have to be mindful of the financial meltdown which is occurring all over the world. And as a result of that, funds are not easy to come by. And we have to also take into consideration that there are a number of other countries which have suffered as a result of natural disasters as well. And we have no control over these things. So we have to be mindful of these things, and I really want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the residents of St. Joseph for their patience and understanding in this matter, because these are the things that can be looked at and addressed overnight. We have to secure the funding for it, and as a government we will continue to be resolute in our efforts to cater to the needs of the people in every way possible. And I believe here in the St. Joseph constituency we will see works begin, and we will see the persons once again can feel that their homes are protected from the river, as well as the pedestrians and the persons who traverse this area to use it once again.
In addition to infrastructural development projects, Honorable Daru reiterated government's plans to provide relief for victims of Tropical Storm Ophelia.
Government has also made a commitment towards the persons who were affected by Tropical Storm Ophelia, to provide them with 60% relief of what they lost. And the Ministry of Social Services conducted an extensive assessment after the Tropical Storm Ophelia, and the persons in St. Joseph who have been affected by that, they will receive relief in 60% of what they lost, based on the assessments that we received from the Ministry of Social Services. And I once again must commend the government of Dominica for really showing an interest in catering to the needs of our people, because persons have to understand that we have no control over natural disasters, and that is why this year in the St. Joseph constituency, one of the priorities for me as a member of parliament is the whole reconstruction and rehabilitation process, because we will understand that last year we suffered major damage as it relates to infrastructural and roadworks in this constituency, more particularly in the Layu Valley area. So this year our focus really is to see how best we can facilitate the process of reconstruction and rehabilitation in this area.
Improving the quality of health services for residents is another of government's objectives for the St. Joseph constituency. The St. Joseph Health Center, originally built in 1981, has recently undergone a major facelift to provide comprehensive, prompt and modern medical care to patients. A total of $447,000 was spent on refurbishing the clinic, which was facilitated by the Basic Needs Trust Fund program. Honorable Daru gives details of the work involved.
So far, we've done most of the major works. That is to say, the roof has been done, where there were leaks in the roof, that has been addressed. We've also changed most of the doors at the health center, as you can see. The entire plate has been tired. We've done major works on the bathroom areas, all the bathrooms in the area, the maternity wing at the health center, as well as the pharmaceutical area. We have not received all of the monies as it for the works. The works started sometime last year in April. And I must say, from what it was last year to now, we've seen some major improvements. And I must thank the contractor for his efforts. There's still some works that has to be undertaken. We have to complete the dentist area. We also have to complete the kitchen cupboards, as well as the paving of the entire yard to complement the health center in its form.
In addition to the maternity wing, dentist's office and pharmacy, the newly renovated clinic will now accommodate a doctor's office, nurses' quarters, and an office for the environmental health staff serving the district. Honorable Daru says, given the history of the building, it was necessary to modernize the health facilities in order to meet the needs of the community.
But basically, this is a project that we had to pay particular attention to, simply because St. Joseph Health Center serves a large area. The health center has not received any major works since it was constructed in 1981, and we can see the length of time that has passed. And so we had to pay particular attention to the health center and to ensuring that we got it to a state where it would be more conducive for the nurses as well as for persons who come here for medical care. I must thank the St. Joseph Health team for their efforts. Persons like Nurse Coffee, the environmental health officer, and all the nurses who were working at the health center for their efforts, their patience and understanding, because they continue on a daily basis to give effective health care and health services to the entire district, not just St. Joseph, like I said. And I must commend them for that. And we continue to work to ensure that our nurses can have a more conducive environment.
Renovation works in the St. Joseph Health Center are expected to be completed sometime during the third quarter of this year. Another area that has received significant attention from government is community-based tourism in the St. Joseph constituency. As local tourism officials emphasize the need to promote rural tourism activities, community tourism is making progress in the coastal village of Mero in a big way. Mero, formerly referred to as Merokai by Dominica's indigenous people, the Kalinagos, is well known for its volcanic black sand beach, beautiful sunset, and calm and shallow waters. Mero village is full of character and community spirit. Residents seem to value the benefits of tourism for their community, and so a tourism enhancement committee has been established to support tourism-based initiatives that will enrich the visitors' experience. During our trip to the beach, we met up with Public Relations Officer for the committee, Smith Prince. Mr. Prince says tourism plays an important role in the economic development of Mero and surrounding communities.
As you may know, the Mero community was once a small farming and fishing community. We no longer do farming because we know we are unable to compete with the countries of Latin America, so some of the small farmers has really move out of bananas, and fishing, we don't do as much fishing as we used to do. So now the tourism, community tourism, is a replacement for not having the fishing and agriculture. So we are employing for now 11 persons in the community. From the community we have 5 persons providing, 1 person providing rum punch and another person providing vegetables and ground provisions. So basically maybe about 15 and more people are directly benefits from what we do in the community, and other small businesses has sprung up in the community. About 4 small businesses has come up as a result of the work that we're doing. So it's very beneficial, I should say, for the community. And I would thank the government of Dominica and the European Union for giving us the funding and recognizing Miro as one of the communities for funding.
MP for the area, Honorable Kelva Daru, applauds the work of the Miro Enhancement Committee, which has gone a long way to promote Dominica's culture to visitors.
Well, I must say that community tourism in the community of Miro is at an advanced stage. And I say that because if you look at today, which is a Thursday, and you see the number of tourists who are on the beach in Miro, which is the best beach in Dominica, of course, you will agree with me that community tourism is really at an advanced stage. I must begin by commending the Miro Enhancement Committee for their efforts, because they've really initiated the entire process of getting everybody involved within this small community to participate fully in the process of taking community tourism to a next level.
Dominica has long been known as a nature island that is clean, green and beautiful. And so, Honorable Daru says, committee members continue to take pride in keeping their surroundings clean, particularly the Miro Beach.
If you look at the beach, you'll see how the beach is kept clean. And the villagers of Miro ensure that they have the garbage bins around. So persons who use the beach, they have the bins so they can dispose of the garbage within the bin and not on the beach. But they also go further and they ensure that they sweep the beach, which is very commendable. And this is all in an effort to produce a quality product. So when the tourists come here, they can realize that this product is a quality, and they can go back now and tell their friends and their families that when they came to Miro Beach, the experience that they had there is one that they now should come to Dominica to enjoy. And so we must commend the Miro Enhancement Committee for their efforts.
The beach is becoming increasingly popular with cruise ship visitors as well as stayover tourists. And Honorable Daru says several steps have been taken to ensure visitor safety on the beach, including a lifeguard tower and the presence of law enforcement officials.
We also have to thank the police, who continue to work collaboratively with the Miro Enhancement Committee to ensure that peace is kept there. Persons, when they come to Miro Beach, they are safe, and that is very important, because a tourist wants to know that wherever they go in any country, they are safe. There are no persons to come and steal from them or to make their lives feel threatened. So here in Miro, we have a very good product, and I must continue to promote this product. We also realize that we have already demarcated the beach. If you see the line there, so that is an effort to keep boats from coming into the swimming area. So when the tourists go out to take a swim, they can feel safe. We also saw the lifeguard stall, and there you have a lifeguard who is there to ensure that person's safety comes first, because that is important in the whole tourism product.
While great efforts have been made to raise the profile of the beach as one of the best seaside destinations on the island, Honorable Daru says much more can be done to increase its appeal to visitors.
And of course, we continue to work with this Discover Dominica in terms of promotion and marketing for the product here in Miro. And as a Member of Parliament, I will be meeting with the Miro Enhancement Committee to see how best we can continue to look at more creative and innovative ways to really enhance this product. And we continue to explore some options. I have some ideas I want to share with the committee. I'm sure that they have some ideas as well. And I was just mentioning to a few of them that one of the things that we have to probably look at is to probably get some nice music on the beach, so in persons there relaxing and enjoying the water and so forth, we can have some nice music, relaxing and so forth. And I must say that the tourism dollar in Miro has gone a long way in the whole effort of enhancing tourism in this community.
As part of plans to develop rural tourism projects in villages such as Miro, the Ministry of Tourism introduced a tourism sector development program to provide training for community members in the areas of business management and development, ethics, planning and leadership. Additionally, through an ecotourism development program funded by the Government of Dominica and the European Union, a new visitor-friendly facility was built to enhance the beach. The building comprises 4 vending units, washrooms, showers, changing rooms and a mini stage. Honorable Daru says these developments in Miro have helped stimulate economic activity within the community.
Community tourism has also been very instrumental in the whole development of small business ventures here in this community. And when you hear persons who criticize government for not providing opportunities, this facility came about through funds from the government of Dominica and the European Union, and it initiated the whole startup of various small businesses here in this community, so that the ordinary man in Mero can make $1 when the tourists come to this community. We also
Connie's Beach Bar in Mero is one such enterprise that has benefited from the high influx of cruise ship passengers visiting our shores. The family-run beach bar is one of the oldest entertainment venues in the area, established more than 40 years ago. The proprietor Connie has inherited the business from her mother and has transformed the bar into a must-stop spot for sea bathers on the West Coast. According to Connie, her business benefits directly from the cruise ship passenger traffic on island during high season.
But I must admit that my mother has started this over the years, of about 49 years since my mother has started this. And within the 5 years' time, at this moment, we've seen a change, a great change in terms of economy. We've seen the changes by the cruise ship visitors who comes to the community, and we benefit quite a bit from this.
Connie's is well known for delicious Dominican food, a great selection of cocktails, good music, and an opportunity to mingle with friendly locals. Connie's Beach Bar has become a permanent fixture in Mero, and according to MP Kelva Daru, this is largely due to the people's welcoming attitude towards the tourists.
over the years, Connie's place has received remarkable comments from visitors who have visited this place, and that goes to say a lot about the attitude that we have towards the tourists when they come here. And if you speak to some of the tourists, you indicate to you that the friendliness and the nice atmosphere that they receive here in Mero is one of a kind.
Al Code, a cruise ship passenger from Michigan on his second visit to Dominica, was happy to share his experience at Connie's.
It's quite a long ways from the ship, a 45-minute ride. But last year when we came to Connie's place, we were treated so warmly, not only just here, but on the way, and from the people in Dominica. The streets are very narrow, and we were coming by with the taxi cab. The little children were actually waving and saying hi, and the adults in the streets were waving and saying hi. They give you a very warm welcome. And this was very exciting, so we were telling our other friends, so we brought back 5 of us this year. And then what we wanted to do is come back to Connie's just because of, well, her chicken is the best, I'll tell you that. I mean, if you come to Connie's, you got to have some chicken. But this beach spot here, even though it's a black sand beach, it's different. But what really is different is the friendliness of the people, the friendliness of the people that are on the beach and that are here. And I see the improvements being made. I was amazed at that, and that's very, very encouraging. I would hope that everything would continue this way. But it is the friendliness of the people, the warmthness of the people. You got a little bit more richness here in the accent. I think it's the people. People are a little bit starved for a friendly place, and they want to feel like home and like it's in their own hometown. This is it.
Another frequent visitor and customer at Connie's Beach Bar, Quanti Bowman, a musician from California, also explains his fascination with Mero.
I started coming here about 10 years ago to Connie's, and I've been coming here annually just about ever since. Yeah, I really like it here. Well, I mean, it's just my favorite place. You know, I've been all over the island, but this place seems to have some sort of magnetic attraction that makes me come here all the time. You know, maybe it's the people.
Honorable Daru recognizes the valuable contributions made by Connie and her family to promote community tourism in Mero, and says everyone must play their part in showcasing Dominica's tourism product to the rest of the world.
And that is why I continue to encourage persons that we have to continue to promote Dominica as a positive tourism destination, because the Minister of Tourism always says that tourism is everybody's business, and it is simply because of our attitude. We have to, as a country, to promote our Dominica as a positive tourism destination. One where when a tourist comes to the island, they can have an enriching experience, so that when they go back, they can share the experience and tell more about it. And that is what they have to continue. So I must commend Connie for her efforts here in really pushing this product, and really you can see the improvements, the vast improvements that are here, and this is very commendable.
Connie has recently expanded her business to meet the needs of her valued customers. She says as a result of her expansion, she anticipates increased business opportunities in the near future.
Well, we do believe there is much more business to come ahead, and so therefore we do this hoping that in time to come we will be able to deliver better service to the public and the stayover visitors, likewise the cruise ship visitors.
Honorable Daru says he is pleased to see the economic impact of community tourism through small businesses in Mero, and that government will continue to provide support and encouragement to small business ventures in his constituency.
I must say that here in Mero at Connie's Place, this is one of the most exciting places to visit when you come to the community of Mero. And as you can see, Connie has done a lot of work there in terms of renovation and making the product a much better product. And when tourists come, they can appreciate these things. Of course, as a government, we continue to encourage businesses like that. And that is why we made a commitment to providing concessions to Connie for improvement of a place because she's not only going to have the restaurant and the bar area, but she's going to build up to have rooms as well, so guests can come and stay overnight. And that is a very important venture. And as a government, we continue to encourage these small business enterprises.
Honorable Daru also encouraged young people to explore self-employment opportunities right here in their own community.
With the tourism product, there are a number of key areas. And I was just mentioning again to some persons that some of the young people in Mero who are unemployed, they can look at probably air braiding when the tourism come here. Some of them can look at maybe the whole playing of a musical instrument, which the tourists like to hear, the music and that sort of thing. Maybe a cultural group in Mero that they can have some cultural dances on the tourist day when the tourists come here, and they will get paid for that. So there are a number of initiatives that they can look at, and I'm sure that with the committee, Mero Enhancement Committee that is, I might say when we sit down and we look at the whole tourism product, then we can look at how best we can implement some of these initiatives. I will see how we can at least provide them with some of the financing or some of the assistance that they need from a government standpoint to really encourage them to maximize on the opportunities that they need for this area.
He expressed his gratitude to the Mero Tourism Enhancement Committee, residents and fisherfolk in Mero for playing their part in welcoming tourists to the village. He says as parliamentary representative, he is currently looking at several areas in need of development so as to further enhance the community.
One of the things that I'm looking at very closely as a member of parliament for the area is the resurfacing of the road into Mero, with the entrance to Mero. When we came in, you would have seen there were some major potholes in the area, and we have to pay serious attention to that. I have already discussed it with my colleague, the Minister of Public Works, and we will be looking at how at the soonest possible time that we can pay some attention to the resurfacing of that road in Mero, and to see how best again we can improve the whole aesthetics of the area and to facilitate the tourists when they come here to Mero.
Honorable Daru says despite its shortcomings, Mero is a serene village and one of the leading communities in Dominica promoting rural tourism and should be recognized as such.
As Mero is a very calm, peaceful community, it is one where persons from all across Dominica converge on a weekend, on a holiday, and they come and enjoy the beach. And I believe that we have a very good product here, and we have to continue to push it. Of course, there may be certain challenges that we have to look at, and we will continue to ensure that whatever the challenges are, we will face them head on and ensure that we can overcome these challenges and make the best use of this product.
Another entrepreneur making waves in providing hospitality services for tourists on the West Coast is Miss Angela James of Island Bay Boutique Hotel, formerly Morningbird Apartment Hotel on London Road in Mero. Perched upon the hills overlooking Mero Village, with stunning views of the Caribbean Sea and surrounding mountains, Island Bay Hotel offers a range of modern accommodation options to its clients. According to Ms. James, upon her return to Dominica from Holland in 1998, she decided to open up a hotel for two specific reasons: to create employment for young people in the Mero community, as well as to cater to the needs of European visitors.
When I came back, I realized that we needed to help the young people. So I think what the hotel section and a home away from home, that is something that is very interesting, because the people in Europe, they want to come down to the Caribbean, but they want to also have, let's say 2-3 weeks to 6 months to stay in the Caribbean. So I think when I see that the young people, a lot of people was unemployed, I said, well, I will try to see what I can do. And the idea came up to me because I love birds. It was first Morning Bird Apartment Hotel, and we started in that way.
After 12 years in business, Ms. James has currently embarked on a new identity with a new name and modern facilities to meet international standards and improve customer satisfaction.
In order to give it that new look, we need to set a swimming pool, we need to do that, a conference room, and we need to put about at least 10 more rooms and give it another a la carte restaurant, and maybe a small area for gym, and a play area where kids that come for 3 weeks, they can have some things to do. Yeah.
Island Bay Boutique Hotel is an intimate, family-run establishment which prides itself in giving visitors a true nature island experience with exposure to village life in the heart of Mero. Ms. James says her aim is to offer guests a comfortable and welcoming stay.
Island Bay is a home away from home. When you come here, you feel relaxed, you feel at home. We treat our guests as family. We give them that thing that when they come, they enjoy our food. We try to embrace them, as when they come here, they feel warm. They feel that we really care for them, not only for their money, but we care for them. Understand? So I think that is one of our plus points for Island Bay. Make them feel at home.
And with the support of Honorable Kelva Daru, Ms. James is well on her way to realizing her dream of providing guests with a personal, professional and comprehensive service at Island Bay Hotel. Since taking his oath as MP for the St. Joseph Constituency, Honorable Kelva Daru has made great strides in the social and economic development of the communities of St. Joseph, Layu, Mero and Bells. As a young, dynamic leader with a vision to empower his constituents, he continues to make a positive contribution to the development of his people in the areas of health, education, tourism and agriculture. In just over 2 years, Honorable Kelva Daru has made his mark as a politician on a mission and inadvertently serves as a positive role model for young people in various communities across the island.